Welcome, everybody, ladies and gents. John Ranger here with Big Mama Frank and every single team principal. It's season 10 draft night. I hope everybody's excited. We've got the live chat here also on our screens ready to go. We are going to start with Division 3 draft to begin with, followed by Division 2. During our Division 1, we're going to tease and reveal very slowly the calendar that we have set up for everybody. It's going to be a very exciting season. We're already at our 10th season. I'm John Ranger. I'm here. I'm organizing the draft with Big Mama Frank, league owner as well. Welcome, Frank. How are you doing tonight?
I'm excited. I up until yesterday, I was purely convinced we would only have 2 grids, and then 500 people decided to sign up all yesterday, and here we are. So, 3 divisions. Definitely exciting. I mean, it was a little bit disappointing not having 3 last season, but we just kind of deal with what we can. So, I mean, I can't be more excited than I am right now.
Yeah, absolutely. We're really excited too. I want to say welcome to our team principals. Y'all can unmute and say hello if you want. We've got some muted people around, but
Can I interrupt you really quick? On the YouTube stream, oh no, man.
it's back. I've got eyes everywhere.
Never mind.
Thank you. Yeah, so we definitely have a lot going on tonight in that regards. So we've got a lot of new team principals. So as we're going through the drafting order, well, we're gonna get to know our TPs a little bit better and why they're drafting the drivers, why they became TPs in the first place as well, and we will go through with that as well. And maybe we'll have some shocked reactions as Labib is giving us Ethan. That's the legendary Ethan meme that will live and die with ZRL till the very end. Also, quick notice for our usual drivers. Let's just keep it PG-13. Let's keep it nice for the general chat since it's also live. Everything you're saying. That's all we're asking, and I think we're good to go. Am I missing something, Frank?
Nobody gets any money. You don't get no money for doing this, so I'm sorry.
Why am I here?
Great. We just lost half our TPs. All right. Well, without further ado, that's not what I want. Hold on a minute. I want this thing right here. There you go. Like this, like that, and I think I should be good. There you go. Our draft order for Division 3, or the draft order obviously has been set up by, the top 10 has been set up actually by Combined Constructors results. However, for each division, and correct me if I'm wrong, Frank, for each division, we have had a lottery kind of system for picks 11 to 20. And so the bottom 10 drivers will be picked. The order will vary between the 3 divisions, essentially.
That's correct. It's essentially just a reverse draft lottery. We rigged it a little bit more than a normal league like the NBA or NHL will for the top combined constructors teams. So they had the best chance of maintaining their 11th pick and so on and so forth. But it wasn't so overwhelming that the grids did get mixed up quite a bit. So it's going to be fun to see how things get mixed up.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well let's not make this a 3-hour thing. We know y'all got other things to do. So I mean, Marcel's ready to go racing right now. So as soon as he's picked his drivers, he's already set up a lobby for everybody to go practice right away. As is Roldy as well. All right, Mercedes team principal. New Mercedes team principal because Joe Goran decided to jump ship. He's out, and in comes Simon Costin. The Shades.
Hello.
What up, Simon?
Very good.
Before you tell us your first pick here in Division 3, you went from Alfa Romeo, who had great results last season, into Mercedes this season. What prompted that switch for team principals?
Money.
Simple.
Lots
That's it.
and lots of money. Yes.
That's perfect. That's all we needed. And it's all about the money. So all about the money. Division 3, our first pick. Mercedes. Who will it be?
In Division 3, I'm going to go for Avira.
A first pick in Division 3. It is going to be Avira. And a really interesting pick. I had him as a teammate last season in Red Bull. So did Frank for a bit. And I think it's a driver that got a little bit unlucky in Division 2 last season in a couple races. But he's got the raw pace for sure. I think that's a great choice there. Great. Frank, are you able to have... There you go. Never mind. I didn't say nothing. You're on point. Perfect. Avira is our Mercedes pick. So there it is. Our second pick without any delay. And Alfa Romeo actually normally would be Kiki Urich, isn't it? Or am I mistaken?
Oh no, that's Mr.
It's
Ahmed
now
over
T.
here at Team.
Right, it is Tino. The person with the name when he first came in. We all remember that. Go for it with the pick, Tino. Who will it be?
My first pick in D3 is going to be BMF.
All right, Big Mama Frank.
Wait.
When?
We had to move. I had to move to D2,
Oh.
so yeah. Double check that list you're looking at.
Rookies, man.
I'll give you a couple
I'm
minutes.
so sorry.
Nice dodge. Frank.
Thank you.
That's tough. Thank you for catching that, actually.
Good cash, but I mean, if I could say so, Avira versus Big Mama Frank, two teammates from last season, suddenly picking 1 and 2, that would have been exciting to see.
That would be the battle of legends.
Absolutely.
I'll just go on the fly. I'm going to pick Joe Goron.
Yeah. Well, it'll be Joe Goron. Definitely a driver with strong pace. He's going to have the opportunity to do great things there in Division 3 for sure. So Joe Goron, we've been so used to seeing him in a Mercedes for so long. We're going to be finding him in an Alfa Romeo. Vera in the chat says, wait. You think he's a little bit surprised by the choice there. But yeah, he's a pick 1 in Division 3. Let's go. Alpine. Who's our Alpine TP?
It's Cornelius.
Yes.
Mr. Patel. All right.
So I'm gonna get my guy that I wanted this whole time for Division 3. Former Division 4 champion. Former Division 4 Constructors champion. Welcome to the team, Rigraf.
It is Rigraf being pick number 3. Let me know, Frank, if I'm going too quick.
No, you're good.
We're good? Perfect. So Rigraf pick 3 in an Alpine. Yeah, we're being told there's a massive stream delay, but it is what it is. It's all good. And I don't know if it's just... Yeah, okay. We're good.
You just got to stop boiling the pigs in chat, I guess. Yeah, so.
Yeah, just I don't know. There's just a lot of. I think my computer on the second monitor was having a bit of a slow moment, but it should be all good now. So there you go. Perfect. Pick number 4 to a brand new team principal.
Oh,
Quentin K. Quentin, what brought you to Red Bull as a team principal?
to be honest, Red Bull is just my favorite team. I've always wanted to race for them. Duncan trolled me, and like before when he was going to draft me, so now I have the opportunity to race for Red Bull. Obviously, I'm taking it off of Hudson's hands, so hopefully I can challenge for the top and combine, but we'll see. But pick 4, I'm gonna take Garrett Elder.
You
That's
gotta
what
say
we
his
made
real
now.
name. Yeah, you gotta say his real name.
Oh, no, I'm not saying.
What is that? Richard Long? Is that what it is on the document?
Yeah, yes.
OnlyFans Richard Long. There you go. Yeah, we're gonna say it as it is. There you go. So that is Garrett Elder being picked. Oh, let me just put that back like that. There you go. Being picked for Red Bull. And I believe it's not his first time in a Red Bull in lower division. So definitely is a driver that has a good opportunity. That top 4 is looking very competitive already. Let's see if the top 5 pick will continue to be very competitive. Our team principal for Ferrari,
Yep.
that would be Mr. Pabst, who for some reason confused the heck out of me yesterday on the preseason drafts with driving a Mercedes. Don't ever do that to me ever again.
Well, the Ferrari was already taken, so
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, Mr. Pabst. How long has it been? Is this your 4th season as TP, if not more?
Think 3rd season.
3rd?
I think it's 3rd. Yeah, he took over for Sid
You did.
at McLaren, and then decided to go Ferrari
Right.
after Peter left.
That's it. Yeah, definitely been. It's been a long time. See, 3 seasons still. It feels like a long time already. In a Ferrari. Well, Mr. Pabst, what will be your pick here for Division 3?
Well, this driver or this person is probably the most handsome person on this server, so I'm gonna go with OG on this one.
Fact, dude, that's a fact. He is a male model. There is no dispute.
Yeah.
Well, there it is. Great pick there. Definitely a driver that. I think he tried to downplay his CA a little bit. He's probably expecting to be picked a bit later, but we know him. We know what he's capable of for sure. All right, pick number 6. Let's go with Williams.
Yeah, and since we had Kiki Urich was slated to be the Williams team principal, Cal has decided to step in and make his picks for him. This is kind of a last second thing since Kiki just didn't show up, so we'll see about replacing him at some point before the week starts, or before our race weekend starts. So bear with us on that one.
Yeah, I definitely don't want to be a team principal.
However, you're the man with all the stats.
I know. Yeah. So I'm gonna go with Stars.
Well, there you go. Stars, who I think regularly in the chat thought he would be picked much later.
I think Stars is a top. I think he can be top 3 driver. Especially,
you
I've
go.
seen him race before. He hasn't done a ton here, but I know
Yeah,
if he
he's right.
practices, he'll definitely do well.
He's relatively new to this game, but I mean he's been around this league for a long time.
He sure
and one thing
has.
he's been doing is Dan has his Shadow League going on Fridays, and he's been doing pretty solid there with a pretty decent grid. So I think that's a pretty solid pick.
I'm gonna try to do Williams a favor. That's for sure. At least.
Well, I think Stars is the kind of driver who I think he's got the pace. He's just got to work maybe on being consistent. And once he finds that, which is, in this league is a perfect opportunity to do so, he'll start racking up a lot of points and definitely, as you say, doing Williams a favor in that perspective. Well,
Absolutely.
that's a good pick there. Our top 6 has been revealed. Alpha Tari, Mr. Cube as always, Magnuson Prism.
Hello.
Welcome, sir. We're ready for your
Alright.
pick.
So I will decide on retaining Kiwi for season 10.
Kiwi, who had technically begun with us, correct me if I'm wrong, last season in Division 2.
Yeah, he was
Yes.
a late ad. He wasn't in the draft, and we had
Right.
to replace some people post draft, and he joined I think maybe 4 races into the season.
Absolutely, and he's been doing solid performances there, so we're sticking with him. And down to McLaren and pick 8. Dan.
So, yeah, this didn't go as planned so far. I'm gonna take Hetrosy though. He's a really consistent and solid driver. I think he has something to show in D3. He'll do it this season.
Yeah, driver. It's a name. It's a name I remember seeing in spreadsheets. I don't remember seeing him often on track, myself. But yeah, if it's a, you know, at this point here in Division 3, we want drivers who are able to bring in points. And with a pick 8, we're starting to see, I think, Kiwi, Hetrosy, even Stars. I think those three could be battling very regularly on track. So yeah, it'll be. I'm kind of excited for Division 3. There's a lot of variables, a lot of things we don't know yet what it's gonna be. We're gonna see the bottom 10 picks in a bit. A lot of new drivers, as Frank said earlier. A lot of drivers came in very last minute, so it's a bit of a roll of the dice at that point for some of the picks. Pick 9, Haas. Mr. Labib. Now, Mr. Labib is our mute TP, so he is gonna put the chat. Actually, if Labib, if you can put that straight in our YouTube channel on the main chat.
He sent it to me. I'll just go ahead
Has
and
he?
announce his
Perfect.
picks. Yeah, so we won't, since the delay, we don't want to reveal
Perfect,
it
go
too
for
quickly.
it.
But Labib has decided to pick Mr. Kagenis himself, the old Red Panda Pigeon Slayer, someone who just returned to the league after racing here in the past. And that is Haas's first driver.
Red Panda Pigeon Slayer. That is Kaganus, if I'm not mistaken.
That is Kagenis. Yeah.
Kaganus, which I
That's a really
do
good
remember
pick.
seeing him on a stream and butchering his name, Kaganus, Kaginus, and whatever other ways you could pronounce that. But I had that issue when I joined the league too, being called the Le Grossi Patati. For those who remember that, I think OG was the commentator too. So shout out to OG for ruining my gamer name. Thank you. Well, pick 10 is an easy pick. It's already on the board. It is the team principal himself. So he's just kind of just chilling and watching, just, you know, waiting for pick 16 to reveal itself. So pick 10 will be Hokage Roldy. And onwards to pick 11, Alfa Romeo. Pick a driver
For
that's
my
on the
final
list this
pick.
time.
I'm gonna go with Jamie Street, J Street 24.
All right.
Yeah, J Street's one of our newer drivers. All we really know about him, he hasn't really spoke much. All we really know about him is the time trial time. So I think that this is, in terms of time trial pace, this dude fell really far. So it's definitely a big steal for Mr. Smith. Correct me if I'm wrong. Abdullahi, is that how you pronounce
Abdullahi.
Close enough.
it? Abdullahi. All right.
Well, he'll give us a pronunciation course eventually. I'm definitely gonna have to do so myself as a broadcaster for D1, because Tino will be driving in D1 this season. So yes, sir, Mr. Abdullahi, we're gonna pronounce your name correctly and regularly on the broadcast. That is for sure. Pick number 12, we're back with Magnussen. So his picks are relatively close together, being pick number 7 and pick 12. So we're seeing where the lottery kind of, I think it would have been pick 17. So he's gained 4 positions of that lottery. Go ahead, Magnussen. Who will be your pick?
So the decision will be one of my former teammates, Ferrari D4, Aaron Green.
Aaron Green, the return of Aaron Green. I think when we saw his name pop up in the server, a lot of people were pleasantly surprised to see him back with us. And he's been racing for a bit and has had some good results in the past, from what I remember. And so that's a great pick there for pick 12. On to Williams. We're gonna go with Kiki Blevins.
I'm next again.
You are next
You are
again.
next.
Whoops. I guess Snoop Francis.
Mr. Snoop Francis. This is another
Yeah, why has
person
he not
who-
been picked yet?
That's a good question.
That is a great question.
I mean, hey, it's a pretty
Heck yeah.
competitive grid.
This grid is really close. It's kind of hard to tell. Like,
It's yeah,
I
it is hard to
figured I
tell.
figured Snoop would be going top 5, honestly.
I mean, Snoop has raced with us before. Hasn't raced, I think, in
Yeah.
a few seasons.
He's
I'm
very
seeing his
quick before.
name in other leagues though, so he's still up and about and racing. That's the beauty of it. I think having new team principals at a certain point don't remember the old school guys, so that may be something that explains why Snoop Francis falls to pick 13. But for Williams, you're definitely doing well. That you're doing the team a favor already with those 2 picks.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, that looks like a solid lineup. Let's see if Dan could do any better. Dan being picks 8 and 15. Who will be your second D3 driver?
We missing.
Is it Mercedes?
Oh, sorry, I'm not looking at the right thing. It is Mercedes. I apologize.
That's all good. I'll take Snaz Monkey.
I'll be honest, I don't know
Snaz.
this driver. Is it purely time trial pace, Frank?
Snaz Monkey raced with us Thursday night at Bahrain. Definitely seemed to have a little bit of struggle with Bahrain, having a lot of spinning. But I mean, I was doing the same thing, so that track is just hard, and that track stinks.
Yeah, it is. That is Bahrain, and I saw Quentin and Cody Lawrence practicing on it earlier today, and indeed maybe not having the best of times figuring out how to handle that track and setups and whatnot. We'll find out if we do in Bahrain race this season. Maybe not. Okay, now for real, Dan. Mr. Colonel Dan McLaren. Kind of popping out of your shell lately. You have that league going. You're a team principal too. What brought you to being TP this season?
I don't know. I wanted to be a TP. I don't know. There's nothing to it.
That's perfect. Go ahead with your pick.
Honestly, I don't know who to take out of who's left. It seems like a pretty close call, but I think the call here is going to have to be to take Mr. F1 Original Pauly. I don't know how he's going to compare to the grid, but at this point we're kind of in a mysterious area in terms of pace, so it's just about picking your bets correctly, I guess.
I do believe that we've slightly butchered his name on the sheet. F1 Original Pauly, but let's go for it. Original Pauly. Has he already had the chance to race pre-draft races so far?
Yeah, he raced with us on Tuesday. He did pretty solid. I mean, those first races were really messy, so everyone was kind of taking everyone out. But he had some pretty solid pace. He was able to keep up with some people that are not Division 3 for quite a while. It was hard to tell exactly what his pace was, just because those races were so messy.
Yeah.
But yeah, he did. He had some flashes.
Absolutely. Yeah, again, it's sometimes just little flashes like that gets you picked for a seat. All right, Hokage, you finally get to speak up, sir. Pick number 16, your secondary driver, your partner for your division. Who is it going to be?
For my teammate, for Division 3, I'm going to pick EDM 33.
Another new driver that signed up. I do believe I saw that name pop up yesterday, Frank. Am I?
The EDM and Snaz Monkey both joined earlier this week.
Right.
But yeah, they're so new, not very active yet. So it'd definitely be interesting to get to know these people.
Most definitely. Let's continue on with Labib. I believe he sent you the information, Frank, for his pick.
Yep. And for pick 17 for Haas, Labib has selected Chunk for 101.
Now, Chunk is a name I remember. I remember seeing that name. Was that when we had Division 4, maybe?
No, Chunk,
Or Division 3?
maybe. But he raced with us in Season 8. He raced in D3 with us. He definitely... It's hard to say. I mean, when you have somebody who's coming back from over a season ago, it's hard to say what they're going to be.
Exactly.
I think Chonk was kind of in the middle of the field back in those days.
That could potentially be a steal for Labib. I'm curious to see, but I think Chonk could could get some pretty good races. So we'll see. We have to keep an eye on D3. It's so hard. We can't tell right now, just on the draft, who's gonna win it. It could go any way possible, and that's kind of the beauty of Division 3 for this season. Back to you,
I
Marcel.
mean, we all know Roldy. We all know Roldy's gonna win it. Like I don't know why we're even here.
Oh yeah, well I mean,
Shouldn't-
Most consistent driver.
Shouldn't
in
even have
D3.
drafted anyone. Yeah,
exactly. Should have auto drafted everybody and just call it a day. Would have
exactly.
been much quicker. All right, let's keep on going. Mr. Pabst, pick 18 Ferrari.
Yeah, so Labib stole my pick right before me, so it's a little bit unfortunate, but I'm gonna trust my Ferrari manager in the background to go with Preti.
Pratty. Okay. So Pratty and then the other two remaining picks, Man in the Box and Low Cash. These are all brand new people, so it's just kind of a toss-up. It'll be basically for everyone or for the team principals, just basically what information they can find on these guys since brand new, and I think all these people joined within the last week or so too.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's Pratty for Ferrari, and essentially Ethan in Alpine, you get to pick both for you and for the Red Bull pick 20. So with the last two drivers there, so Ethan, we're ready for your pick.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick the most Indian sounding name, so we're gonna go with Lokesh.
I think in that topic, I'm pretty sure that is the person Spanini invited
Yeah.
to the league to help fill it out.
I do
So
believe so.
shout out to Spanini and shout out to Lakesh for joining, man. I look forward to seeing you race.
Absolutely. And our last pick for Division 3 in Red Bull, Quinton. Who are you picking?
Man in the Box.
There you go.
Yeah, and to be fair to Quentin, that was literally the only person he could pick. So
Literally. Do we officially have Frank, can you tell me officially how many reserve drivers do we have for Division 3?
oh,
If we
I'd
have
have
any.
to. We at least have two
At
off
least
the top
two.
of my head. I'd have
Yeah.
to go back and look at everything.
Yeah. We're definitely gonna keep, accepting signups for reserve drivers as is. Where did that there you go. And yeah, well, that is it. That's it for Division 3. And so a lot of new people in Division 3. We'll see if we have new names popping up in Division 2 as we're going to go ahead and draft for those picks. The only name showing up there in regards to team principals is Labib, who will be the second driver of Haas at pick 17. So he's going to have to pick his number 1 driver later on at pick 9. But we're going to start with Simon Carlson and Mercedes, who will be your first pick.
Hello. I'm going to pick yourself, John Ranger.
All right.
Welcome to Mercedes.
That's great.
And I don't know if anyone knows about this dude. He's Canadian.
I'm French Canadian.
His name is John, but it's not spelled like that. His actual name is the Gross Potato. Yeah, those are all the fun facts I have.
That's all. That's it. That's all. Yeah, being picked number 1, no pressure. It means you got to win. So, I guess I'll try to do that. OG says Canadian in quotations. Yeah, French Canadian, for those who may have picked up a little bit of the accent there. And there you go. There was a racist slur I was looking for. John the Frog. Perfect. Thank you, well, Jeff. Alfa Romeo pick. Who's gonna be the rival to the Ranger?
I am also gonna pick a Canadian. Welcome to the team, Joshua Mulder.
Yes, sir. Josh Mulder, former Division 1 driver. He's been around for a bit, and I gotta say I saw some of his races, particularly the races he had last during the pre-draft, and he looked really solid. So yeah, I think it'll be nice, a nice rivalry for there.
And 2 seasons ago, Mr. Mold, Josh, or Mr. Wild Poros, I guess I should
Yes.
say, as he was known back in those days, he was 1 lap away from winning the D2 championship, and he sent this wild dive bomb on Duncan, caused him to spin and lose positions and lose the championship to Max. So this is his opportunity to make up for that error.
Yeah, absolutely. Jogeron says Josh is a rain god, so yeah, it helps. Hopefully, there's not too much rain this season. Pick number 3. We're back with you, Ethan. I have a feeling I know who you're gonna pick.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep keep the championship DNA going. We're gonna get Buzzgod in here.
All right. Return of Buzzgod. I think his name's gonna pop up as Thomas Busby. Busby.
Busboy, I think that's how you pronounce it.
Busboy. There,
Busboy.
yeah, there you go. Thank you. See,
You're welcome.
That's the French in me. So yeah, Buzzgod, who's a former championship winner, definitely a guy with some pace. Haven't seen him in a while, but his pace was surprising. Sometimes I was on track with him too. So that top 3 is gonna be spicy. However, that was not the pick I thought you were gonna go for, Ethan. I gotta admit. Quentin, you have pick number 4, sir.
For pick number 4, I'm gonna pick Nick Hamrick.
Nick Hamrick being picked up by Red Bull. So pick number 4. What can you tell me about Nick Hamrick, Frank?
And then fucking Mr. Baby
I
spins me out
was gonna
faster
think
than
about
me.
it.
You fucking piece of shit.
P15.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, now we have fun.
Oh, I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself. Nick Hamrick.
Hi.
I really hope Ranger could actually hear that on the stream.
Oh
so,
yeah, it's out there.
So Nick Hamrick, also known as Mr. Baby, as you could tell, that was our good friend, Mr. Brandon Cushy, expressing his thoughts on Nick Hamrick. Luckily for Nick, Nick is quite a bit quicker than Cushy. Sorry, Cushy. So, I mean, he's had nothing to worry about from any more angry rants from Cushy.
Oh yeah, well, chat's reacting, and Levip saying we're getting demonetized, and yeah, a lot of lows going in the chat there. You know, I don't even remember that audio, so that caught me by surprise. That was perfect. All right, let's keep on going. We're at pick number 5 with Ferrari. Marcel, who's it gonna be?
Difficult. It's between 2 drivers. The one raced last season. The other one is, I don't know. I'm gonna go safe with Jack Fletcher.
A return to Ferrari, right? He was with Ferrari last season.
Yeah, but
in Division
he
1,
w-
Jack Fletcher.
Yeah, exactly.
One of the OGs who's been in ZRL for goddamn, like a long
I want to
time.
say forever. I
Yeah.
want to say literally forever.
Yeah, I remember back when I used to be good, I'd drive D1 and be battling him at some point, and he'd be way quicker than me. This is F1, 2021? So, yeah, I think he's the kind of driver that I think once he gets his groove back, like he didn't really find it in Division 1, but when he gets his groove back, he could be an absolute menace in Division 2. And I'm really looking forward to battling him on track and beating him, obviously.
Of course.
We will see.
All right. Well, that's a good pick there. Cal replacing there for Williams. Who are you picking?
Try.
Shry is going into the Williams seat. Another driver that's I think what is last season or 2 seasons ago he won Division 3.
Yeah, 2 seasons ago, season 8, he
Yeah.
beat me for Division 3.
Yeah, definitely a driver that's got strong pace, and a clean driver too. I fought him a couple times last season and had some fun battles with him. So great pickup there for Williams as well. Damn, I'm looking at those top 6 drivers and yeah, I mean we could have like jumbled up that order and it would have been very very tight grid so far. It'll be close battling for sure.
Yeah, one curse of having your name in Division 2 and then having your full name show shows that at one point you were D1, but you're no longer anymore. But at the same time, that also shows that you have what it takes to at least get to D1. So it definitely can be very interesting.
It's 100% true. Also in the forums, I think, and it was really just for Division 1 for broadcasting purposes only, but I was surprised to see a lot of people putting in, and I mean, is it their real names or not? I don't really care, but a lot of people putting in what seems to be their real names, nonetheless, in the forums. So pretty interesting look there. Yeah, time's flying. We're already almost at 9 o'clock, so I do want to get to Division 1 on the calendar for sure. Let's keep on going there. Mr. Cube, who will be your pick?
It's a 4-way fight. We'll see who it is.
Are you going random?
think I
And
know
it'll
it.
be
I think I
combined
know
YouTuber.
the- Okay, never mind.
So you went completely random, apparently, and is going to be
Thanks.
combined YouTuber for pick 7, which is absolutely in the range I was putting him personally in my mock draft. Australian driver, great driver, good broadcaster as well, by the way, and yeah, finds himself in the 7th pick. I think the only thing we gotta keep an eye on is maybe the lag issues. Sometimes there's a bit of lagging issues that may affect the race, but it's kind of slim depending on the race, I guess.
The benefit combined is a very clean, very respectful driver. So
Yeah.
even with those things,
Yeah.
he like the incidents are always kept to a minimum. Just sometimes driving next to him at the wrong time can definitely make you a little nervous.
Yeah, because the car gets a little bit jittery, but yeah, like you said, he's a very, very clean driver. Probably one of the drivers with the least. I'd love to see him. I'm gonna call it out as it is, but I think he's one of the drivers with the least penalty points out there. I think
Yeah,
I'd be
definitely.
able
I mean,
to
yeah,
bring it up for us later on.
Yeah, in terms of like upstating, like being an upstanding member of our community, combined is definitely up there, and just like the blemish list kind of people, I suppose is a nice way of putting it.
Yeah, basically. Very good way to put it. All right, so we have combined YouTuber pick 7, pick 8. It is time for McLaren driver to be picked.
Oh, combined was taken right out of my hands just there. Okay. I'm in between 2 drivers right now. I think, surprised he hasn't been taken yet. I'm gonna go with Blake Stevenson here.
So that is 2 Aussies, and that's perfect for the rivalry, right? Another Australian driver being picked, Blake Stevenson, one of our younger drivers around. He'll be battling with combined YouTuber, and I think that'll be a great Australian rivalry to watch there in Division 2. So that's solid picks out there for sure. Haas pick number 9. Let's go with Labib. It's slowly beginning to become a head scratcher on who's I don't remember who's left to be picked, to be honest. Just going with the flow here, so Labib's
Alright,
going to give us
Labib.
his driver.
Labib has given me a little bit of a paragraph to relay here. Also,
Yes, because I asked him
So-
questions and he gave me amazing answers. I so apologize, Labib. I'm kind of forgetting them because I'm managing my time as well. But go ahead and read us that answer,
So
Frank.
for the 9th pick for Haas, this is from Labib, guys. So, quote, "I'm proud to welcome Sid to the team. Observing them vigorously pounding meat in the kitchen, I couldn't help but admire their relentless work ethic and commitment to
What?
perfection. If they can handle meat with such precision, imagine what they can do behind the wheel of a Formula One car. Together, these drivers bring a unique blend of intensity and precision to our team. I am confident Sid will propel us to victory on the racetrack. Thank you, Labib, for that work of art that I just read for you.
Oh my goodness, that's a that was a meaty
Crazy.
paragraph, I gotta say. All right. But at the end of the day, that is Sid Southgard, you know, being in Division 2, the kind of driver who's able to come out of nowhere and be an absolute rocket. So it's I think Sid's got a nice opportunity here, being pick 8 with not a lot of pressure, just to get a few podiums this season and help McLaren gain some positions and help Haas gain some positions on the combined constructors. All right, pick 10, Mr. Roldy. It's up to you.
This whole pick just went to shit. Sorry. um with the 10th pick for Division 2, I'm gonna select Mac.
Mr. Mac.
There you go.
Mac is someone that we kind of went back and forth with a little bit about which division he would drive in. Because he's kind of on that border between D1 and D2. And he did become a race winner last season too, beating Mr. Simon and everyone else at COTA. So it's definitely not someone you want to underestimate.
Yeah, I'm shocked he dropped that far.
Yeah, he could have been a top 5 or top 3 even. But I think I think one of the reasons for these picks has to do with consistency and being constant and bringing in results and getting the points in. All right, pick 11. I think Cal was trying to show everybody his cat, and the cat said no. I apologize. I know how it feels.
I think I'm gonna do the
you're
same thing.
All right, Ethan.
All right, I'm gonna do the same thing I did in Tier 3. I'm gonna pick the most Indian-looking name. Go with Sanjay.
Spanini in Division 2. Well, I think Ethan's going for the brown team.
Yes, sir. Force India's back.
Yo, Force India's
Come back to our roots.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I wonder where they ended up.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm
just
VJ
saying.
Maya now, dude. I'm a baller.
Yeah, that'll be really a good pick there. Again, Spanini is the kind of driver who could, out of the blue, a little bit like Sid, you know, he's able to bring in some really good results out of the blue. And so when he's on the tracks he likes, he's very quick. Another clean and solid driver, absolutely, and a very well respected member of the ZRL community. He's been here for a while, helped a lot last season in Division 1 broadcasting, to which I'm very thankful for his help as well for that. And yeah, well, it'd be nice to see him on track in my rear window. Pick 12, Red Bull. Quing Tong. Go ahead, sir.
Quainton. For pick 12, we're gonna go with BMF, Big Mama Frank.
Dang, dude, I cannot escape the Red Bull.
He's back. I don't know how to call it about Red Bull. Black and blue or black and red, you know? Is it the color or is it the Red Bull? Because I never saw why the Red Bulls were blue, but anyways.
Back in orange, dude.
There
That's
you
a
go.
real
Just
one.
Black and orange.
That's all right. We'll take it as like that. But yeah, well, that's Big Mama Frank back and being in the Red Bull seat. Ferrari pick 13, Marcel. It's up to you.
Well, this driver gets another chance at Ferrari, so I'm gonna pick Matteo.
So it is the return of Matteo, and Ferrari gets another chance. I'm not sure it went the way we expected it to go for Matteo last season, but I think he's looking for a bit of a redemption season. Is that why you're picking him, Marcel?
Kinda, yeah.
And definitely a guy that's able to bring in a lot of pace as well. So at a pick 13 position, Matteo is a pretty quick guy.
Yep.
All right, we go with Williams. Mr. Blevins. And his cat. Let the cat pick.
Yeah. Arrow.
Arrow.
It is the return of Arrow.
No, I actually did not update the sheet yet.
Yes.
But he did request to have a name change yesterday. Or today. Corentin, I believe is how you say his. And then Legendre.
Let me go find his the name change.
I think it's just Corey Legend. I think is what we're gonna have to.
Well, I mean, honestly, that could be a great like English way to say it. But in French, it is gonna be Corentin Legendre, with my French Canadian accent. So there it is, Mr. Legendre, our Frenchman. Not French Canadian. He's properly French. From France there. So you had it said. I promise you the good pronunciation, Corentin, and it is said. So welcome aboard. And Williams picked 14, and Arrow is definitely the kind of driver that is able to again bring in some really rapid pace. That midfield in Division 2 looks absolutely nasty. I mean, that's like every single race it'll be a different order, and it's going to be really I'm thinking that not because the drivers are just are dirty in any way, but I think the stewards are going to be very busy with that midfield because the racing is going to be so close that things are going to happen for sure, and we got to expect it a little bit. That looks like a beautiful grid so far. Pick 15, Alfa Romeo. Let's keep the show rolling.
I'm gonna go with Eric McNerney.
Eric McNerney.
Mr. Conspiracy Theory himself, Eric McNerney.
Yeah. Otherwise known as the original Bob Loblaw. Absolute best name I've ever seen in a racing league. That is still up there. So, and I...
Just gonna forget mine.
I'm not gonna... No. No. Just no. Anyways, what I was gonna say is the kind of driver that stopped racing for a bit, and then kind of popped up out of nowhere. Said, "Hey guys, I got the game," and then threw himself in a public lobby. And I was there with him, and he can race. He's got that racing. You know, he can stay away from a game for a bit and come back, and quite possibly, you know, pull a surprise there. Kind of driver who's not afraid of alternate strategies and whatnot. So, yeah, definitely a good hire there for Alfa Romeo. And a bit of a shout out in the chat for a OG Ian Krieger. Absolute rocket on track. Now there's a rocket elsewhere, sadly. I'm hearing a lot of things about this guy and his boat for some reason. Not quite sure what that is about, but Ian Krieger on the chat, we salute you. All right, Mercedes. Who's gonna be my teammate?
I'm going to pick Chubb Tucker. I think it's Chubb Tucker.
All right.
Chubb Tucker is one of the more newer people.
Yeah.
Joined within the last week also. I think he probably had the pace for both Division 1 and Division 2. But I think his best fit was right here.
Absolutely. We already have Labib's pick there. Let me just go find All right, I asked Labib the one thing earlier on this week. I asked him what motivated him to become a team principal. I think most people here know Labib. He's very active in the chat, and I've never seen somebody spend so much time in our voice chat on mute. So that's Labib for you. But he's always there. He's always lurking, always listening. And I asked him what motivated him to become a TP, and he told me he wanted to be a team principal. So I could ensure, and I'm quoting him, I can ensure that his well-deserved Haas team gets the stability and consistency they deserve. They've gone from P10 to P3, back to P9 in combined constructors, and I want to change that trend. I hope that a more consistent leadership will contribute to a more stable and powerful Haas team. I'm here for the long run, and so he is he's very devoted to his team, most definitely, and so. That is Labib, your second driver in Division 2, pick 17. And let me tell you, Labib in pick 17, driver who's won races, who led the championship for a while, I think, 2 seasons back, who was getting great results. He's... it's a strong pick for Haas in pick 17. And I think the chances for Haas to improve in Constructors' Championship are very high due to that. With that being said, Colonel Daniel, it's McLaren's turn.
I'm gonna take Rage. Yeah.
It is Rage, and correct me if I'm wrong, Frank, that is not his first season with us.
I honestly don't know if he actually has ever held a full-time seat with us. He's been in the server for quite a while. But I believe this might be the first time he's actually raced with us full time.
Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah, I believe I've seen his name as reserve here and there. So a driver with potential pace. Well, be curious to see where that will bring him. Hokage, pick 19, Aston Martin.
With my 19th pick, I'm gonna pick the Waffle Raptor.
The Waffle Raptor. And again, another person who is new relatively recently.
Unrelated to the old Raptor we once had in this league, is he?
I hope not. I hope not.
I hate that guy.
He wasn't known for making friends. That's definitely the best way to describe that guy.
Let's say it like that. All right, and so that is Waffle Raptor in Aston Martin, a driver that we're gonna have to discover on the track, nonetheless. And pick number 20, our very last pick, Magnussen. So you've picked 7th, and now you pick 13th pick later. Bit of a gap there. Who's your last driver for Division 2?
I think it's pretty obvious. Flossie.
So
Yeah,
Flossie,
Flossie's
who
been-
recently got put back in the Division 2, if I'm not mistaken, Frank.
Yeah, so Flossie is somebody who is from Iceland, so a little bit of a unique background from him. He's been around for as long as I've been here, at least, and he maybe, he used to be the Haas team principal. You could argue that he didn't do a very good job back in those days, but Flossie always would have some spicy pace. And one thing to keep in mind when you race in Flossie, that dude is never going to give up a fight. So that guy is tenacious on the track.
Could definitely be a steal for pick 20. Just able to defend, able to be tenacious on the track, on some of those tracks where you have to be able to defend. When we do Monaco 100% later this year, kind of hard to overtake a guy like that. That is it for Division 2. We've got our full grid up and away. We're about to start Division 1. However, before we do our first pick for Division 1, I just kind of feel like throwing that out there. And let me just see if that's gonna... Oh, yeah. So we have... I'm gonna switch between picking a driver and revealing the tracks on the calendar this season. And obviously, we're probably going to have to add D3 on the calendar, by the way. We have the times for D1 being Sunday 8 p.m., Saturday 8 p.m. for Division 2. We're going to be Monday at 8 p.m. for Division 3. We do have tracks. And Frank, I don't know if you want to give us a little bit of background. We have team principals who have picked out the tracks for us this season, haven't they?
Yeah, we actually decided to do something a little bit new this season, or this past season, kind of reward the teams who won each divisional championship, and then reward the team that won the combined. Now, I'm not sure if we'll be able to do each division champion again, because having 4 tracks chosen by people might be too many, depending on how long our season's going to be for next season. But we'll stick. We're going to definitely stick with combined constructors team. We'll be able to pick a track. So with this, we had Mercedes was able to pick 2 tracks among the people who, just kind of as a team, and then their D1 drivers were able to pick another one. And then Alpine was able to pick 1 track from their Division 2 Constructors Championship. And among those tracks, Mercedes picked China and Spain, and Alpine picked Japan.
And let me just do one thing real quick. So we have those that were picked by them. Do we know when? Hold on. Yeah, well, as you mentioned, Japan, and that's going to be our first race. Let me put that up right now. That is going to be our first race this season. So I'm going to reveal, between every pick, I'm going to reveal a round. We've got 12 rounds to go. And our first round, I think Quentin K is going to be very happy because he wanted to show off last night in the preseason race, and that didn't go too well for him, I guess. And it's going to be full qualifying for a season opener in Japan. So that is going to be a very interesting race to start our season on. Comments, team principals, about our first race?
Why? Why Japan?
Because.
Best decision ever. 10 out of 10.
I completely disagree.
Well, the big thing with Japan being first was simply, since we didn't really do it back in Season 8, and we're going to do it again, I might as well bring it back early. So I might as well just start the season with it.
And nonetheless, and that's the thing, since I've joined, like, being admin in this league, I've just noticed whatever track you pick, nobody likes the track. So
that's my goal. I want to make as many people unhappy as I possibly can.
Well, whatever track it could possibly be. It could be the best track, could be the worst track. Everybody's gonna say it's the worst track no matter what. So screw you guys. We're doing Japan.
I think maybe I regret picking Coda every other track. I think 6 times a season might be one too many times.
There is a reverse Coda we're doing at some point this season, isn't there?
Oh yeah, we got mods and everything, dude.
Yeah, exactly. So that'll be interesting. All right. We are ready for our first driver to be picked in Division 1. You'll notice there's a lot of names already out there. Real quick, Quentin K is going to be pick number 4 in Red Bull. Marcel Paps, he's the number 1 driver in Ferrari. We'll see with Kiki Juric. He brought in some people on the server as well. So we'll keep an eye on him. But yeah, for now, he's a bit AWOL. Magnussen Cube in P7, a solid pick there. TNL first-time driver. Absolute crazy good season last season in Division 2. Finds himself a team principal Alfa Romeo and pick number 14. It'll be his first experience in Division 1. Dan, correct me if I'm wrong. Did you already race Division 1 with us? I think that's your first time, isn't it?
It's my first time as a driver, full-time driver.
There you go. So that'll be really exciting to see. And sadly, we did not correct your name. I apologize, Simon. But also your first promotion there in Division 1. Your secondary driver for Mercedes. And it is up to you, team principal Simon. Pick number 1. Who will you take?
The worst keep secret for last week. I'm probably gonna pick Ryan.
Yeah,
obviously the D1 champion last season. So who else?
D1 champion, pick 1. Yeah, exactly. Who else could it possibly be? And that's a solid lineup between you and him for pick 1 for Division 1. Simon was a pick number 11, I believe, last season. And that was an absolute steal for Mercedes, and they took it away for constructors wildly in Division 1 and in combined constructors. So we'll see how that could happen again. It might not be as dominant as last season with Ryan Newton and Marco Bastien as well. But with Marco out of the portrait for the moment, well, you have the chance of Ryan and Simon being the two to bring in a lot of points for Division 1. And yeah, it'll be great to commentate and broadcast for Division 1 once again this season with all you guys there. So that'll be great. I'm going to switch over to the calendar. Before we go for pick 2, give you some time to reflect on your pick, Mr. Tino. So, round number 2, anybody want to guess what that round will be?
Vegas.
And it is indeed not Vegas. Round 2, we're going to Montreal, my hometown, born and raised. Canada will be our second round, whether you like it or not.
I'm sorry, guys. I tried. I tried, but
I agree, Labib. I agree.
yeah, I tried, guys. But when you know one of us in the admin team is Canadian, we gotta at least do it once.
Exactly.
Worst fate ever. Unfortunately, have to drive Canada.
It is what it is, but we can't
sigh.
ignore it for that long.
Hey, we've still got Vegas yet to be announced. It could be worse.
It could be worse. It could be worse.
Labib is showing some good emotes for this.
Absolutely. All right, Mr. Abdullahi, who is your pick for Division 1?
My teammate for D1 will be Nicolas Pichet.
And return to Alfa Romeo, Nick Pichet, a young driver. He's in his teens, and I mean, he's an absolute beast on the track. And I'm thinking he's going to be the driver to battle with Ryan Newton this season. It'll be a very interesting season with the fact that Eric Cavallo has retired, for parental reasons. Marco Bastet is not around for I believe for university mainly. Hudson Poole for whatever reason he decided for. So those 3 drivers are out. It opens the door for a lot of new battles up front, and so I think Nick Pichet and Ryan Newton is going to be the duo to keep an eye on. All right, who wants to give me a guess for round 3 for the calendar this time?
Vegas.
Spain.
Bahrain.
China.
I'm gonna go Austria.
All right. Round 3 will be held in Spain. Indeed. So it is Pain with an S. So round 3
Hey,
will be...
Spain is actually kind of fun to drive on this track or on
It
this
is.
game, to be fair.
Yes.
So
It's much funner with the updated Sector 3, the last couple corners. Not my favorite track personally, but a good track nonetheless. All right, Ethan, who will be your driver for Alpine?
This has been one of those decisions that I've wrestled with the whole time. This whole week, I'm struggling to see, but I think I'm gonna go with something I lacked last season. I think this season I have drivers that are capable of winning their divisions in both T2 and D3, and something that really messed up both us and could have potentially hurt Mercedes last season was having a consistent driver in another grid. So I think I'm gonna go take Cam Bourne. I know he can get podiums. He won't be on the top step.
Horrible.
Wow.
That's
You're horrible.
insane.
Absolutely. Wow. Well, that is
You're
a
throwing, aren't
shocker. That we would need an Ethan face, but Ethan just created the situation. But it is Cam Bourne. This is for the first time in how many seasons has Cam Bourne been racing for McLaren?
Oh, he drove for me one time and then I traded him away. So,
Okay, so you might trade him away again then.
no. He's here to stay.
Yeah. Look at that. Cam Bourne being picked 3rd in Division 1, and me and Sponini, we had this discussion multitudes of times broadcasting Division 1, where he's just that driver that I don't know, he kind of just does his thing, and you kind of don't really bother too much about him. Then you look at the grid after 5 races, and he's 3rd and doing amazing on the Drivers' Championship, and you're like, what the heck? And being picked third is a mark of respect that he deserves. I will say, for Camborne, he's definitely a very, very strong and solid driver who brings in results practically at every race he goes to. So, I think that would be definitely worth it. Yeah. As a Major Castleman on the chat says, finally some respect for Cam, and I totally agree with that. In Camborne, we could have let Camborne be dropped down to be pick 8. Absolutely. So there you go. So suddenly we have the next 4 picks already figured out with Quentin, Marcel, possibly Kiki, and Magnuson. Before we go to pick 8 with Dan, we'll give him a time to reflect because I think he is deeply troubled by Ethan's pick with Cam. Let's reveal. I don't know. How much do I got? I got 2 more rounds for y'all. 2 more rounds for y'all. Give me tracks. What's round 4?
Las Vegas.
Vegas.
Okay.
Hungry.
Let's just get it over with. Round 4 is
Random
indeed
GP.
Las Vegas. Round 4 is indeed Las Vegas. All right, what's round 5, guys?
Random.
Random, yeah.
Oh. Well, somebody's leaked the calendar, I think, but it is random with a sprint. So we're combining 2 things. We started the random tracks last season. Frank, I don't think we had any sprints in the random tracks last season, did we?
No, we just did the short quali,
Yeah.
50% on the randoms.
Yeah, absolutely. So there is no. So that's new, having a sprint race on a random track. Obviously, the random track will not be a track that we've raced this season, but other than that, I think it's pretty much every other track, isn't it, Frank?
With the exception of Singapore and Monaco. Every other track that's not on the calendar.
Yep. All right. A little interesting for that. So we got our first 5 rounds, 5 rounds out of 12 that have been revealed. And so we are ready to go with pick number 8. Dan, who is your driver?
Well, obviously not Camborne because Ethan's weird. I'm gonna take Nicholas Aro. I don't know how to pronounce that correctly, but yeah, he's coming to McLaren.
Can you just say, is it Daffy?
I believe it's
Or is it
Duffy. Yeah.
someone yeah. All I can say is I raced against him today in the EML Team Championship with teams like Shazoo, CPI, ABS, and so on. And we both got unlucky and raced against each other at the back of the field. And all I can say is he's fast. In the qualifying, he needs to work a little bit, but in the race, he's pretty solid. That's all I can say.
All right. Well, I'm really curious to see the new driver. So that's fun. We get new drivers in Division 1, and Nicholas Aro is going to be a new driver to be seen here in McLaren. And if Nick is watching, you could DM me on the Discord and give me the proper pronunciation for your name, just to be sure it is said properly during the broadcasts. As you all know, I want to make sure I say your names properly when I call it out on the broadcast. So Nicholas Aro is a McLaren driver, pick 8. That's a really interesting newer driver, and yeah, with Marcel's input, it's a driver that's got some race potential. Maybe we've got to work on qualifying a little bit, but it's all about the racing pace, isn't it? So got to keep an eye out for him on track, that is for sure. Round 6, guys.
Baku.
What do you do
Yeah,
this to me, man?
I forgot about that.
Miami.
Doug said Miami real quick.
We're not that evil.
Oh, we're not? Oh.
Unfortunately not.
You are.
Fortunate. Yeah, I absolutely am.
We're just having a North American tour this season.
Round 6, guys. I know some guys in Division 2 are going to be very happy with this one. It is Australia.
Oh no! Wow.
Yikes.
Worst
That's
track
over.
ever.
Oh,
Labib, yes, Labib put the
That's even
stickers.
worse. I forgot
That
about
might be
Miami.
the worst track of all time.
It is much better with the revised layout. I'll say that. It's much funner to race, I believe. But yeah, Australia will be round 6. And it just comes to prove every time we show a track, we've shown 6 tracks so far. and according to everybody, they're crap. Maybe except Spain. But
No. Vegas is perfect. Vegas. Is
Vegas
perfect.
is going to be the most chaotic race of all time.
There you go. There you go.
I'm just happy to send some
Always with your
parlays to
optimism.
Vegas.
I love hearing it. Great. Labib, you can let Frank know who is your driver. The first pick
Labib.
in Division 1 for Haas.
Yeah, for Haas, Labib has select Michael Bubla, Mitzi, I believe is his Discord name.
Bubla.
He is new along with
Bubla.
Nicholas Aro, but they have some rather impressive time trial times.
How impressive.
That's a good question.
Faster than Labib.
26.149 was Mitzi's time, and then Nicholas was 26.249 at Japan.
So there you go. Time trial is being put in. So it's not a. I don't think we've seen that driver
Barney's faster.
on the.
Imagine not having the world record there.
They cut the final chicane.
I know. It's a joke.
Yeah. So is it Michael Bubla, but let's go with that to begin with. Again, you can DM me with the proper pronunciation of the name there. Well, let's go back with the calendar because hey, why not? Round 7, guys. Shoot me a track.
China.
Miami.
Well, I'm gonna say
Why
Cheddar.
why are you guys like this?
Why are
It's
you the
Miami.
way that you are? Well, round 7, we're going to Texas. It's back at Coda.
Oh my god.
Are you serious?
Yikes.
It is
Right.
for about the 8th season in a row. We're going to race
Go to
Coda.
track.
We
As
didn't
we-
do
as
it
we
in
should.
season 8.
Hey,
We
as
didn't
we
do it in
should.
season 8.
There you
I
go.
don't remember it season 8.
This is all fun and
That was
games until the
sarcasm,
two
boys.
randoms are Miami and Mexico, and we just get an NA tour.
Basically, that's all we
All
need.
part of the plan.
Let him cook.
It's all
So
part
over.
of the plan.
Miami sprint race, I might just finally drink bleaching and my suffering.
Hey, if it rolls Mexico, dude, whoever missing their driver that week, you might have Cody. So, cross your fingers.
Hey, if I get
Boy.
Cody, then sure, we might as well.
Yeah.
I'm not going to turn up that week. Get good points.
Labib with the memes. All right. Pick number 10, Hokage. Who will be your driver for Aston Martin?
My first D1 driver is going to be Jordan Kwan.
Okay.
Jordan Kwan. Jay Kwan, who's appeared, I believe, in China. His first race was as a reserve last season and got a podium, essentially. I think he got P3 and after penalties, maybe even P2. Had some great races, I think a bit of a rough time maybe in Mexico. But yeah, Jordan Kwan is the kind of driver which I thought he'd be picked closer to, I think, P8, considering a lot of TPs were already, selected in their seat, obviously. But that makes him a very strong pick for Aston Martin, I think. I think that's going to be a strong contender in Aston Martin for sure. So Jay Kwan going in the green. And Cody Lawrence in chat, Mexico random track, I will be there, he says. So he's going to have to go sign up the form for the reserves. That means. All right, guys, round 8. We've got 4 more rounds to go. After Texas, we got Japan, Canada, Spain, Las Vegas, a random track with a sprint, Australia, Texas, and round 8 will be
Silverstone.
China.
Abu Dhabi.
it will
Silverstone.
be the combination of all of those things. We're going to Abu Dhabi.
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh no.
There you go.
It's a good
Again,
track.
I like
I
it.
haven't done
It's too much
any
hate.
running. I haven't done like 10 laps around Abu Dhabi. I might just give it the skip.
You can ask AJ how to drive it.
Well, there's no technical sector 3, but
Yep. He's got a good setup around there.
yeah, he definitely does.
Got the extra talent.
Mm-hmm.
That was wild. I remember seeing that. Oh my god, I was broadcasting that. I was absolutely shooketh. But yeah. All right, interesting. Yeah, Freddie, I think he's eager to see who's going to pick him and when. And Era says pretty interesting tracks. Absolutely, these will be. Well, every track is interesting. Well, Quentin, you've picked yourself obviously for Division 1. Now you got to pick yourself a teammate. Who is going to drive with you in Red Bull?
I might get flamed for this because Freddie's been in my DMs just flaming me constantly, but we're gonna be picking Kyle Blevins.
I would have just taken Fred out if he was in the Red Bull.
Right, so Kyle Blevins who's not a team principal for Williams. He's picking for Kiki Juric with his stat sheets and whatnot, but he will be racing once again in Red Bull. So BMF and Cal with Red Bull again for I don't know how many seasons in a row it's been. How have you, since entering Division 1, have you raced for anybody else on Red Bull, Cal?
AlphaTauri.
Right, all right.
Back when we had Team Alliance.
Yeah, when we had Team Alliances.
Essentially, yeah. So always with the Bulls, is it? Definitely. So Cal Blevins back in Red Bull, and we reveal track number 9. Give it a go, boys. Will it be China?
Jeddah.
Again? Jeddah?
Random.
Random. It could be random. There is 2 randoms. I'll give you this. There is 2 randoms this year on our 12-track calendar. Round 9 is China.
I don't blame me for that one, guys. They picked it. Mercedes picked it.
Mercedes picked that track, absolutely. And don't blame me because I just got picked to Mercedes. I was not aware.
Yeah, it's your fault.
All right. Pick 12, Alpine, Ethan. You've already angered so many people by taking Camborne.
Yeah.
Are you going to do something similar again?
So this one's also difficult because there's one driver that I really want to pick, but he always makes it so difficult to want to pick him.
I wonder who that is.
Yeah, he keeps saying he's missing races. I'm not dealing with that. We're gonna go back to my D2 champion, Stelios Repas.
Stelios Repas, Division 2 champion. Former of Division 1, a kind of driver who fell off the grid a little bit in Division 1. But you know, it's interesting. Stelios, seeing him in Division 1, and I remember calling him out for some moves he tried in Singapore that really didn't work out, and I kind of called those moves Division 3 worthy. However, I got to race with him on track. You know, he's been a pure gentleman on and off track to race with in Division 2. And I wish him best of luck back in Division 1. And I think he could bring great results to Alpine once again. There's some races he's able to have a pace very similar to Camborne. So, yeah, I think, Ethan, you got another solid team going for Division 1. All right. Round 10, guys.
Baku.
On Baku.
Random.
Yeah, random.
We're going full qualifying to Silverstone.
Oh, let's
Oh,
go.
that's perfect.
There you go.
Heck yeah.
So our full qualifying session. In the past we've seen full qualifying for those street circuits or the Titan technical circuits like in Monaco and Singapore and whatnot. Seeing it in Japan, we're also having it in Coda and in Silverstone. It's a very interesting change to have. A welcomed one for sure.
So the little context with the full qualifying for Silverstone, since there are the rumors that that F1 24 may come out in May, we decided to kind of take these last 3 races as potential season finales. So you might see full qualifying again.
Yeah, that is true. Because if we look, we already have around 10 rounds revealed. We're going for 12 rounds this season, and as you say, Frank, the rumors are the rumor mill is going for F1 24 already. Although we have very little information, but the one thing that we have so far is that it might be coming out earlier than expected. Not sure if that's a good thing or not, considering EA's track record, but I guess we could hope and be optimistic for half a game. So there it is. Labib, do do you have another paragraph for us for your next driver?
He does. So from Labib, he says, quote, I am thrilled to select Anon to the Haas CRL F1 team. Their presence at a recent party illuminated the room like a shooting star streaking across the night sky. Amidst atmosphere, they took center stage, their voice rising like a melody woven from pure magic. Each note they sang carried a resonance that captivated hearts and stirred souls, transforming the room into a symphony of joy and wonder. Anon's ability to hit each note with precision is unmatched, and that's exactly what we're looking for on this team.
What in the chat GPT was that?
Yeah,
Proves that Labib is AI.
These are lacking heart, Labib.
there you go.
That was some top tier glazing, Labib.
top tier glazing coming from the Slurper himself. All right. Almost made you choke, didn't I? Saw that. Oh boy, great. Well, that's a good pick and a great paragraph pick for Labib. I'm kind of sad it wasn't picked for Haas, just to have a paragraph like that. Well, pick 14. Well, Tino, Ahmed, you're there already, so you're going to be teamed up with Nick Pichet. Let's go on and reveal round 11 of our calendar. Now, potential round 11, given the fact of F124, as we've just spoken a couple minutes ago. What do you guys think?
Brazil.
Random.
It's going to be random.
Bahrain.
It's going to be random with a sprint. So yeah, it could be Bahrain
Random
with a sprint as well. It'll be interesting to see what kind of track will show up. So round 11 is there. All right, we are ready with Ferrari. Marcel, who's going to be your teammate?
Good question. No, it's not. No, it's not. Everyone knows on the server who's gonna be my teammate for this division. He's the second biggest Ferrari fanboy on this server. The first one is obviously Marino. It's gonna be Nathan Doan.
There you go, Nathan
Did you forget about Cushy, dude? The real Italian?
Is he though? He's from Boston.
Close enough.
He's fairly Italian.
Close enough. He has a tattoo and he has papers. I'll show you.
All right. Well, Nathan Doan, who used to be in a Ferrari, if I'm not mistaken, before him being in a team principal for McLaren, now has become one of our mods. So he's got different roles on the server, but yeah, he'll be able to focus maybe a little bit more on his driving. And pick 15 for Nathan Doan. That's a pretty solid pick there for him. Had a bit of a rough season, I think, last year, and he's going to be looking to improve even more. And he's, yeah, I think he's pretty motivated about that. All right, our final race for the calendar. Why not reveal it now, right? Give it a go, boys.
Baku, full quality.
We're not
Stop with
racing
this
back
Baku
to-
propaganda, please.
Okay.
We're confirm not racy there.
The one
Paid
thing
by the
that
Azeri
Amazon
government.
got right here is the full qualifying. It is full quality, but it is not
It's
Baku.
Monaco.
It is
It's Monaco.
probably a track you guys don't expect. And I'm not for
Alright.
this time. It is France.
What?
No way.
Oh, okay.
It's over, guys.
But French
It's over.
people,
Hey,
no.
ending the
It
season.
is so over.
This is just
You can't end the season now.
no, you can because this is Alpine's home track. We're gonna win the championships at our home track. This is perfect.
Okay, bro.
Yikes.
I've read the script already.
There you go.
We're gonna have the most wash. We have the two most washed tracks in the game: Abu Dhabi and France on the calendar,
Well, it looks like you have to learn
and the
these
worst
tracks,
track
huh?
in existence, Australia.
I've read the script.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazingly. So
That was
the calendar reveal will be available on the Discord channel in just a moment. As soon as we're done this draft, or maybe even during. I don't know if Frank will do that at the same time. But anyways, we will have France as season finale. I don't. Freddie's typing. Oh, John, what is wrong with you? I'm not picking those tracks. I don't have any kind of influence on those tracks whatsoever. So yeah, don't blame me for that, bro. Williams. Well, Yurish is not there. Cal's got to look at the numbers. Cal, who are you gonna
I
pick?
mean,
Don't do it.
if I go off the numbers, you know who I have to pick. But like,
This is
I
gonna
don't
be the
know.
biggest
I don't know.
irony ever,
I
isn't
don't-
it?
I know.
You-
That's what
you
I'm
know-
saying,
you
and
know you don't.
I've been given this opportunity. Yeah, I'm gonna have to pick Freddie Razzle.
Okay.
Be
It's
my
over,
secondary
guys.
driver.
Hell is frozen over.
The day that we well, that's
I mean,
just- yeah, the irony is great.
Whether or not he is the best rated driver that's left to pick. So it's
Yeah.
not, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
there's another factor here, Cal. How many times are you gonna bump him off?
He's got to keep up with me. To bump,
Labib.
bump him off.
Labib.
Maxime is better value.
Okay.
Come on.
Well, Freddie Rizal is now.
Fred and I are cool now. Anyways, we're not.
Yeah.
We have apologized to each other. We're not gonna take each other out anymore. We're gonna both do well this season. We're not gonna crash each other once.
There you go.
So
I'm just gonna keep, commenting about that and like adding fuel to the fire because I'm a broadcaster.
I've
and I
got
like drama,
Jeff in
but,
yeah.
For sure.
I've got Jeff in my ear, so I mean he'll talk me out of it.
You got the actual Jeff, like the actual game
Yeah,
Jeff.
I have
in
the
your
real
ear.
life one.
Yes, and that is amazing, absolutely amazing. Yeah, well, Freddie Rizal in the Williams pick 17. So, I think that's, despite all that, it's a bit of a late pick. I think
I mean, still that's a great pick for Williams.
that is a great
17
pick for
a
Williams.
top 10 driver.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think as the kind of driver who could perform, if he could stay away from trouble, he's getting a lot of points for Williams. I think that was the main
Absolutely,
thing
yeah.
last season, and I commented often. And the number of times where I would broadcast curse him, I would just go on camera on him, say, "Oh, look, Freddie's having a good race," and then he hears me and for some reason decides to smash into a wall at 200 miles an hour. Maybe he won't do that this season. Maybe I just won't talk about him all season. However, my hot take this season, I did say that Freddie Rizal would win a race in Division 1. Under crazy
Hey.
circumstances, I kind of put that as a hot take.
I just gotta
we'll
say
see.
this too is like Ethan didn't pick him at 12, which is weird to me. I mean, I think
The man sends
I
me
think
the
it's
most
kinda- I think
broken
it's kinda
English
shitty of Ethan,
messages in
yeah.
the world and expects me to understand. I
hey,
can't
Freddie,
read
you can
minds here.
you can blame this on Ethan. You should have went 12th.
This
Well-
man. Did you see the message he sent me?
Well, he's sending a lot of messages in the
You
main
should see
chat
the
right
you
now.
should see what he sends me, man.
How am I supposed to understand this?
Don't worry, Freddie's still reflecting on the question I asked him earlier. And he's very confused as to how everybody has the answer, but nobody else. But we'll talk about that later, Freddie. For those who were there, they know. All right. Pick 18. We're almost going in on 2 hours, guys. So we're gonna wrap this up. Pick 18, Magnus and Cube. You're already pick 7. Who will be your driver?
It's Maxime.
Duncan McCavick.
Wait, what?
What?
Fully intentional trolling people. I'm just ready to tactically fool people. But yes, it is Duncan.
Everybody was expect Maxime Beaulieu. We had so much of a talk
Maxime's
about
to
him
stand on
being
business.
the best teammate around, basically in Division 1. And well, Magnus and
Hey,
Cube
the
just picked
prodigal
Duncan
son
McCavick.
has returned.
Absolute troll. And well, who else but Magnuson, right? I think that's very, very typical of you. Absolutely. Well, at the end of the day, it's quite a legendary return. There's no other driver to pick. I mean, Hokage, you end up with Maxime Beaulieu.
Honestly, I am so shocked that I received him. The prodigal son has returned back to his home team.
He's returned to. I mean, I remember the days of Maxime Beaulieu and Aaron Altmaier, absolutely doing great stuff in Division 1. Well, now it's going to be Maxime Beaulieu and Jordan Kwan. And I think Kwan.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie,
picked
my team
him.
is stacked.
Yeah, that looks like a strong team for Aston Martin. Being picked and being even losing the lottery, technically speaking, you're the dead last place for the lottery at pick 20, and you get Maxime Beaulieu. And I keep an eye on him a little bit in LDL in another league, French Canadian league that he's in.
Yeah, he's
And,
doing great. No,
Bro is cooking. Let me tell you that.
exactly.
He's some good stuff is coming for Maxime Beaulieu this season, and he's ready to go. Well,
Yes, sir.
gentlemen, this is your grid. So let me just run it back through, put it up on the stream real quick. Starting by the draft in Division 3. So these are your 20 picks, your drivers in Division 3. You can see them right now. Here are your drivers for Division 2. A very competitive grid as well. Both, like, every single divisions right now. I'm looking at the names real quick, and they look very, very competitive. Before we end the stream, let me ask a couple drivers some hot takes. Colonel Daniel,
Yeah.
give me a
what's
hot
up?
take. Give me a hot take. What is your hot take for this season?
Mercedes finished bottom 5.
Mercedes finished bottom 5. Ow. You don't think highly of me. Okay. I'll have to speak to you on a
McLaren
Friday
finished
night.
last.
Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. Simon, what do you think? What's your hot take this season?
McLaren finishing last.
McLaren finishing last. There you
Okay.
go. There you go. It's starting already. Season's only starting next week, and these guys are at it.
You're cooked, Simon. You're done.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see.
Marcel, give
I'm
us
sorry,
a hot
but
take.
Aston's gonna be top team.
Aston's being top team. Let's go.
I'm gonna say Nathan will win a race.
Nathan Doan will win a race. I cannot wait to see that. If that happens, I don't know.
I think he's snorting too much spaghetti, dude. I don't know about that one.
Yeah. As a broadcaster, if I'm seeing Nathan Doan, who's spent a couple seasons broadcasting with me and who's also broadcasting Division 2, all around good dude on this league. I see him win a race in Division 1, I will literally explode. Live. So, yeah.
Interesting words.
We do have one hot
Yes.
take from Labib.
I'll go
before
for
we
it.
go. He says, after a disappointing season from Hudson Poole at the head of Red Bull last season, I believe Red Bull will be on the up and up this season. I trust in Quentin to pick the best and lead the team back to where they should be, competing at the top.
No, they suck. Quentin sucks. Where's TP? He'll spin it out. Spin under safety car at Japan.
There you go.
All right.
Well, Quentin, I think you have a reputation to fix a little bit, but you being TP when Red Bull is maybe promising for this season, so we'll see where that leads us. That is a bunch of things we're gonna have to talk about for Division 1 during our next broadcast. Which broadcasting wise, we'll have a couple new things for Division 1 as well. If you know, you know. If not, well, you'll find out next Sunday. Real quick recap before we end this all. Division 2 will kick off the season Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern next week. So it starts off with the Division 2 Sunday 8 p.m. Eastern again. Division 1 will be starting their own season, and then afterwards Division 3 in on the Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern as well. So a bit of a random order for our divisions, but that was the best scheduling for those drivers, and it works out perfectly for everybody. So that is it. TPs, thank you for hanging out with us for about an hour 45. Sorry if it was a little long, but we definitely had a lot of fun. We'll see you back, everybody, on the Discord. For those who watched and those new drivers who joined us, well, don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're actually very close to getting monetized, by the way. I'll just throw that out there. So likes and subscriptions are very much needed. And yeah, that is it. Final words, Frank?
I don't know. Bring on Japan.
Bring on Japan. Yeah, let's go. Well, we're gonna see a lot of drivers suddenly hopping in on Steam and already starting the grind for Japan. I know a lot of drivers are excited to begin their work. I definitely am. I've got business to deal with. I've got a division to go win, and I'm gonna start that right now. So, well, it's gonna be the end of this stream. So I'll see you guys around, and thank you for being here. Good night, everyone.